Welcome back to another video. My name's Henrik, and today we're going to be looking at the Chinese Aiways U6. The U6 is the sporty variant of the U5, and it's a big, massive car. This car is going to set you back 45,000 euros, which is fairly cheap considering it's a full electric car. With the environmental bonus in Germany, it's going to cost you around 41,000 euros, which again is quite cheap. Competitors are, for instance, the ID.5s, which we already took a look at. And for that price, that car with all the extras did cost almost 70,000 euros, and this one is only at 41,000 euros, and you can't get any extra options for it. Let's start off with the design of the car. And first of all, what does Aiways actually mean? So Aiways actually means AI is on the way, which is fairly scary in my opinion. I don't know if you want to call a company AI is on the way. I don't know if that's the best way. There you go, nice 360 for you. We're going to look at the front because the CV value on the car is actually fairly low. We have a 2.48, which is lower. For instance, we had the the Ford Mustang Mach-E, which had a 0.25, so a little bit lower. You can see that because we do have quite a good amount of aerodynamic touches on here. For instance, we have this like fake carbon fiber, which is hard plastic, but it has like this different aerodynamic touches here, which makes the airflow a little bit further down there, and also some, if I go from the side here, some real air takes on the side here. Just fairly aerodynamic car, and with all that, I do like this like fake carbon touches because we have it also on the back. We'll look at that in a second here. Some more wheel intakes on the bottom with our sensors down here. Camera for our full 360-degree camera, which is fairly nice. And also we have our lights, which integrated daytime running lights, full LED lights. So quite a good amount of lights in there, which looks pretty cool. And also some more fake down here. The engine in here that we have is going to be, well, full electric car. We have 218 horsepower with 315 or 15 Newton meter, and that's going to give us a Vmax of 160 kilometers an hour, and also get us from 0 to 100 in claimed 7 seconds. Let's actually see if we can reach that 7 seconds with the temperature being 10 degrees and also fairly close to being winter now. So let's see if we can reach that. So claimed is 7 seconds. We have turned off traction control and also our wonderful sport mode. We've turned that on, so let's go. No wheel spin or anything like that, and we are gonna get 7.19, so fairly close. We do have all-season we have all-season tires on here, so it's not going to be the best for 0 to 100, and it's also fairly cold outside, so you're not going to have that much grip, but 7.19 is actually fairly close. You also have quite a good amount of variant for the colors. For instance, we have the mint green color on here. You can choose between a couple of different colors, which are all not going to cost you anything extra, because basically everything on this car is how it is. There's no extra option on it. We have the 20-inch alloy, well, 20-inch wheels on here, which are all-season tires on here, so again, they're not going to be the greatest for braking. Well, maybe. We do have a claimed distance of around 37 meters. We're going to see if we can actually reach that with the braking distance on this. So let's see if we can get that. So let's see what we get from 100 down to 0. Boah, that's a lot more than it did on yours. Let's see what we got. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one again. 37 meters, so exactly what is claimed. He did one previously where he got 34 meters, which is a lot better. So you are going to be able to get around that 34 to 37, maybe even better, maybe even worse. But we do have all-season weather tires on here, so if you have summer tires on here, you're definitely going to be able to get a better value, and it's also fairly cold. Let's also quickly take a look at the battery in here. So we do have a 63 kilowatts an hour battery, and you can actually use 60 of that. So if we double press on the button on here, that's also going to open. You can see we don't have a cover on here, which might be a little bit not that nice, because you can see there's actually some moisture building up down there, so it's not going to be the best. So a cover on there would have been very nice, because if moisture gets into that, it's not going to be the best thing. But you can charge this car, which is not that great, at 90 kilowatts, which is not that good. For instance, the ID.5 had 135, and it's also the 400 volt technology in here, or the architecture, so it's not going to be the best, because Aiways also says they are trying to innovate and be on top of their game, which we'll see if that's actually true. For instance, 90 kilowatts is not going to be the fastest charging speed. That's going to get it from 20 to around 80% in around 35 minutes, which is not bad. We did do a loading test. We'll do that here in a second. And let's also take a look at the consumption of the car. So we did do 0 to 100 tests, so the consumption has gone up exponentially. So we have driven this car now for a total of 200 kilometers. You can see 19.9. Claimed is around 15.9. Before we did our 0 to 100 test, we were actually at around 15.5, 15.9, around that range, which is fairly decent, and that was with 160 kilometers, now up to 20 kilowatts an hour and 200 kilometers. So we're currently at 56% with 194 kilometers left, so more than the claimed range of 400 kilometers. No, my math is completely off. if we're at 50%, it should say around 202 kilometers, but it doesn't say that. So you're not going to be able to reach that WLTP claimed range of 400 according to the system and with our range or consumption that we are currently at as well. So you're most likely going to be expecting around 350 kilometers of the real world range that you're going to be expecting from this car. So let's look at the loading curve, because this thing is very interesting and it kind of looks like my depot when it comes to my stocks, because this thing is just ridiculous. So this is right here is 0 kilowatts bar, and that thing went below it, so it basically deloaded itself. And you can see that thing is not a curve, that thing is, well, like I said, a stock market or whatever you want to call it. That thing is just ridiculous. The max speed we did get was 76.8 kilowatts. The max is 90, that is claimed. But it did actually only take us around 41 minutes to get from 18 up to 81%, and claimed from 20 to 80% is 35 minutes. So fairly close, considering we even went down to 5 kilowatts. Like that thing just, it spikes up to around 76 and then it goes down to 5. 76, 5. As you can see, 76, 5, 76, 5. Like, what is this? This has nothing to do with innovation and, well, that's what Aiways claims. I don't know what that is. And we do also have automatically foldable side mirrors, so you can see those are going to go in, and a camera down here again for the full 360-degree camera. If we also open up the car, we can have it by a keyless go, and that's going to go out just for some more aerodynamic touches, and you can again close it if you just hold it down there. We have all of it in black. We don't have any chrome touches on here, and we don't also have the rear windows blacked out. So tinted rear windows, we don't have that. And also some more hard plastic down here with this little interesting design with like these stripes going up. Doesn't look bad, also doesn't look great in my opinion. Further on, if we go to the back, we can definitely see we do have the sloped rear end of the car with a big panoramic window on the top. That's actually the biggest in the segment on the market, which is interesting, and that combines it with the big window on the back, which does not have a rear window wiper, so it looks a little bit more sleek. We also have this like black spoiler on here, glossy black, and these lights, which actually look really cool when they start up. Actually, let's see if we can get it on here now. Yeah, look at that. And there you go. It's actually pretty cool design in my opinion, and then they like pop out there. Looks pretty cool, and then if they turn off again, there you go. Doesn't look bad in my opinion. It's actually a really cool design. One of the coolest I've seen on any car that we've had so far. The BYD Han actually had a really cool design as well. So when it comes to the Asian market, they really know how to do their lights. Further down, we again have those carbon touches on here, like fake carbon touches, and some more bigger diffusers down here, which I again like them because you can see also on the side here, we have some more aerodynamic touches down there. It again is supposed to be the sporty variant of the U5. The U5 doesn't have a sloped rear back. But this one does. Again, plastic down here, not the best quality, but not bad at all. One thing I'm not the biggest fan of is that you have to open the trunk down here. It's an automatically openable, well, it's supposed to be. I think I double clicked it. There you go, it opens automatically. Also, one thing we don't have any towing capacity or any, so you can't put like even like some bikes on this, so there's nothing that you can actually put on there. And the trunk is going to allow you to get 472 up to 1,260 liters of storage space in here, and we do have some more storage space down here, as you can see, where you can put your charging cables and your general stuff. And it looks like the guy that actually bought us the car left some cola light on there, so he's definitely on a diet, which is nice. And we can also flip over the back seats, and one thing you are going to be noticing is that we actually have a fairly big lip in here. Well, it's not bad, you get that one little lip in there. And also the quality is actually fairly decent. Some cars you're going to have some bad stuff on here, but this is actually very nice. So you do have a little bit of a lip, so if you want to put some bigger stuff in here, you're going to have to lift it up at the end. Oh, that didn't sound that nice, did it? But yeah, fairly big. And we also, again, have a decent height on here. I'm 1.80 m tall, so you're not going to hit your head if you're a normal size. So in the interior, you can definitely see that it is a fairly interesting design color in here. So the aspect that you get in here, you can't change the color of it at all. So you have this blue touch down here, you have some white, like everything is white, everything hard plastic in here is white. And you have a mix of leather and fake leather in here, which makes it seem really comfortable, and they actually look really, really good in my opinion. I like the color scheme in here. I don't like the exterior color, but in here looks good in my opinion. We also got this interesting knob in here where you can like do this, and that's how you switch your gears. So reverse, neutral, and drive, and there's a P button on the side, a button for your parking brakes. You have some more cup holders in here, and you also have some storage space down here. One thing that we're going to take a look at is, because I have a USB-C charging cable in here. We have a USB-C, a normal USB port in here, and a USB-C port in here, but if you come a little bit closer, you can see I got the normal USB-C right here. So if I want to put this in here, this is an Apple charging cable, so it should fit, but it does not fit at all. The port is all the way in the back, so I can't connect my cable in here. And the only thing that you can connect to Apple CarPlay is via cable. Or if you have Android Auto, you can connect it wirelessly, but I can't charge my cable on here. And if I put it into the wireless charging port, as soon as that thing moves a little bit, because it's also sloped a lot, it's going to stop charging, so it's not that nice. You have some more storage space down here, and you have some nice resting space on here with some good leather or fake leather on there, which is also pretty good. Infotainment display, it's Chinese or Asian, so it's not going to be the best when it comes to the technology that they use in here, which we're definitely going to take a look at once we're driving, because this thing's a little bit interesting. You also don't get a navigation system in there. You have to use it via smartphone to actually get a navigation display in there, or a navigation system, which is fairly interesting. Quality-wise, you can definitely see we have plastic all the way, like everything that's like this white color is plastic if you look on the side. For the price range, the quality in here is actually really, really good. So you have this like fabric on the side, so the red stitching there, and the sound system here is also very nice. Doesn't sound bad, sounds fairly decent. And the steering wheel, you can definitely see, it looks a lot like the BYD Han that we already took a look at. And the the safety features in here are also a little bit interesting. We also have some more storage space down here, but you don't really have that much space for a cup holder. So you have one cup holder in here, and the side you can only fit like a really small bottle in there, like this size. Otherwise you can't fit much in there, and again, there's no really charging ports. So starting off the drive here, that's my phone. Oh, whoa! Okay, starting off the drive, we do have a reversing camera, and we also have a 360-degree camera with like the surrounding, so it scans the surrounding and then it fills in the part below the car, which is a little bit interesting or good, and also has warner on the rear, so rear collision warner, which is also nice. One thing that's also interesting, if I put my seatbelt off, you didn't even turn my phone off. If I turn off, you can see it's not going to let me drive now. We do have the parking brake here on the side, so I could theoretically turn it off and then I can drive off, but I can also put this in and then I would be able to drive very smoothly. And there's a car coming that way, so we'll wait for a second. And you can also listen to the sound when now going back. It's fairly loud. And from the outside it's really loud, which might be a little bit irritating, but yeah. You can see it also switches to the front camera, which is nice. It does have quite a lot of assistant features, well, not quite a lot, but it has some. So we do have adaptive cruise control, we do also have lane assist, we do also have, well, it does show you also on here, we do have, like it scans the surroundings well from cars and stuff, it shows you everything, so that woman, for instance, is scanned right there. We do have like the steering assist mode as well, but for God knows why, I don't know how to turn it off. Every time I press it, when you press it, it's basically a speed limiter. You can see right there, speed limiter is activated. It's also an intelligent speed warner. But I don't know how to make it work. We've tried every single function, looked everywhere through the infotainment display. There is nowhere that I can see an option to turn it on, which is a little bit weird. Maybe they just used the wrong symbol there because it's supposed to have it, so cruise control, but it doesn't. On here you can see left side for your assistant, so you also have a limiter, you can change the adaptive cruise control, and you can also on the right side change everything in here. For instance, you can change this up to whatever button you want, so you can change between what modes you use for your Bluetooth or your radio, stuff like that, or AVM, that's what we have right now, which basically scans the surrounding for you every time you press it. If you, for instance, put the blinker on, it's going to show you that. That only works if you put the AVM on, otherwise it's not going to basically show you the surrounding camera once you blink. Otherwise, this feels fairly standard. Steering wheel also, I like the design of it, the blue and the white touches on here. It looks pretty cool. And when driving in the city, the engine with the sounds it makes is fairly loud. Well, it's a little bit irritating because from the outside it's really loud, and sometimes it does also get louder than some combustion engines. And if you're driving this really fast, so top speed of around 160, in here it is way louder than any combustion engine car that I've driven that isn't supposed to be a sports car, because this thing is not very well isolated from the surrounding when it comes to driving a little bit faster. And wind noises also, you can hear them quite well in here. The comfort in here is okay. The seats are very comfortable. I like them. They are also electrically operatable. You have heated seats in here as well, which is nice. You don't have ventilated seats, which would be a cool option, but for this price range you don't expect that as well. But you also get a suspension which is a little bit firm. It's not bad, but it's not the smoothest suspension. But it gets, if you drive over here, yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not great. Surrounding view is also fairly decent, good side view, because we do have some very big rear side windows, as well as blind spot assistant on the side. The rear window is, because it's so slanted, it's not the best in there, but with the 360-degree cam, if you're going into the city, it is completely fine as well. And the lane keeping assistant here, we do have it turned off right now, but it is fairly annoying because you can see right here, it doesn't scan the best when it comes to the road, so it always a little bit jaggy. And then it always, if I'm going too far to the left, lane keeping assist just keeps warning you, which is really annoying, so definitely one thing you want to turn off. One thing I do like though, because we do have different modes in here, you can change it via this button in here, so if you press on, you can see we're in normal mode now. We can change into normal. We can change into Eco. It's just going to change recuperation, a little bit of the steering feel. And then we have Sport, which you already took a look at once with the 0 to 100 test and the brake test. And the feeling in here is just a little bit more heavy and just a little bit more direct as well, which is nice. And then if you also have a pedal drive, which is supposed to be one pedal drive, and you can feel the steering wheel is really, really light now. But this is not a full one pedal mode, so it doesn't actually let you fully slow down to 0 kilometers an hour. It's still, well, you're still going to have to brake manually. You can see custom mode is the nicest because the recuperation here just feels a little bit jaggy. It takes a little bit to start the recuperation, and sometimes also really harsh, so you can't really control it that nicely, and the braking is just a little bit interesting. You can see lane keeping assistant there keeping us in the center. But the other thing that's pretty cool is that it's also always going to keep that mode activated. As soon as you turn the car off, it's going to keep the mode activated and know, okay, you were in that mode, so we're going to keep it activated for the next drive. So let's also go into the sport mode just to see how sporty the car is, because it is supposed to be a little bit more of a sporty car. The acceleration here feels fairly decent, so if you slow down a little bit, you can see the acceleration does kick up just like in any other electric car, and 350 Newton meters is quite a lot, so you can't complain about that. Quantum capabilities, because it is supposed to be a fairly aerodynamic car, but it's still a massive car weighing in at 1.8 tons. I mean, these are not the best cornering roads now. I mean, it stays firm to the corners, and it's fairly direct when it comes into the steering input going into the corners. Just want to see this one corner, how it handles through the next corner up there. That's the most interesting thing. Okay, not bad. Corner capability is actually not bad. Doesn't slide a lot. I mean, that was fairly slow, 80. Not bad. So because the car is 4 meters and 80 long, you can definitely see we got lots of legroom in the middle here, in the back. You can see the seat is adjusted to me, so 1 meter and 80 or 5'11", and you can see I got plenty of room in here, and also a good amount of foot room where there is. Okay, I'm totally making your iPad dirty right now, so I'm sorry about that. But again, just like in any other electric car or most electric cars, you're gonna have not that much of a thigh support in here because the bench in the back is just fairly low to the ground because of the battery down below. So you're gonna have to sit like this, but you're gonna have to do some mansplaining in there. And also in the center, you do not have a pass-through, but you do have 2 cup holders in here, and this is a big center console as well, so you can actually put your feet on there pretty nicely. Adjustable headrest, a big panoramic window, like I already said, the biggest in this segment in the market, which is really, really nice because that is also 99%, I think, like, what was it, 99% UV safety, whatever it's called, so a good amount. And we also have some more storage space in here. And one thing that oh, what's this? Oh, nice little notebook, electric state of mind. Okay, but one thing I did already notice, which I haven't seen on any other cars, you actually have some more like storage space on the side. So you could, for instance, put something down there, which is interesting. I've never seen that before. And we also have some bigger cup holders there on the side compared to the front. But one thing I'm not a big fan of is that we don't have any like charging ports in the back. So we have a total of 2 charging ports, a USB and a USB-C, but nothing in the back here. You have a climate control in the back, but it's not adjustable, so you can't adjust your temperature, but you really don't have anywhere you can charge your phone, which is a little bit unfortunate. So that's my final verdict on the Aiways U6. Well, it's supposed to be the sporty variant of the U5, and it has a lot of couple features, that's impressive, a lot of features that are fairly interesting, and for the price range, you really can't complain, considering an ID.5, for instance, is going to set you back almost 70,000 euros. But again, technology in here, Chinese technology, Asian technology, is just nothing compared to the European technology. And loading speed in here also needs a lot of work, so you're going to get a lot of extras when it comes to, for instance, an ID.5. But the one thing that I'm also not that convinced about is if something goes wrong with the car. For instance, if you buy a Volkswagen in Germany, you're always going to have somebody you can talk to. For this, you don't really know where to go. Where do I go? But the guarantee on here is actually fairly decent, so that's another nice thing. So you get 8 years of warranty and 5 years for the general car, which is very good. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.